To be part of such an amazing business, it's really fantastic, and to see new people coming in as well, achieving, because some people say sometimes when you've been in a long time like we have, people say, oh yes, it's all right for you, it happened then, but now there's new people coming in having great stories straight away, absolutely fantastic. So what I want to do tonight is just tell you a little bit about our Kleeneze journey with a few hints and tips along the way, and hopefully you can learn from some of the mistakes that we've made. Because we've made mistakes. I know you probably find that really hard to believe, but we have made some mistakes. So actually, start to live life, because too many people fail, do they not? And people just think, oh, wish I could do this, wish I could do that. But you know what? With a business like this, you can absolutely. Did I want to move to London? Well, I didn't. Even not having met Geoff, I wouldn't have wanted to move to London and live there. I was quite happy sort of being around here. So I was going to be in a situation as well where I didn't know, what I was going to be doing if I had not been in the situation I was in. So redundancy happens to a lot of people, does it? Is there other people in the room that's been made redundant? Yeah. So, it happens all the time, for all sorts of reasons, not just because companies merge, but sometimes just because people get made redundant because companies have to cut costs or whatever. And the great thing about a business like this, if you join it, is you can't be made redundant. So that's a fantastic thing, not something I want to go through again. I've actually been through it twice. I wouldn't really want to recommend it at all to anybody else. So what happened was, when Geoff was made redundant, he set up his own business, and it was a really strange situation how it happened. It was actually one of the first nights that I was round at Geoff's, and he was cooking for me. So he started cooking for me then. He still cooks for me now. I've got that part really well trained. So if you need any advice, come to me. He cooks. I have the wine and stuff. So we were actually having dinner, and there was a knock on the door, and it was really strange. Geoff went to the door, and it's one of those nights where you think, oh, who's this at the door? And there was a guy called Gary who lived in our village, who was there, and he said to Geoff, he said, hi Geoff, he said, I just wondered, is everything all right with you, with work and everything? Now he didn't know at that point that Geoff had literally recently been made redundant, and he said, I've just been up to the northwest somewhere, Liverpool or somewhere I think it was. He says, to sell the whole, one part of my business. He said, to see somebody, and he said, for some reason I was driving back down the M1 or the M6, whatever it was, and he said, something told me I had to come and see Geoff Webb. Now that's a bit spooky. So Geoff said, well actually I've just been made redundant, and he said, I have always wanted to run my own business. So basically, to cut a long story short, he had a quick chat about this part of the business that he was selling, left the accounts with Geoff. Geoff went, seen an accountant, looked at all the stuff and said, yeah, this looks like a really good business, I think I'm going to buy this with my redundancy money. So that's what he decided to do. So he sunk redundancy money into that business and took it from there. Now at this point, my company had merged, as I say, and we were all going to be made redundant. So we were in that spell where for quite a few months we were all working, knowing we were only there for a limited time. So you don't really, your heart's not really in it. Nobody's really bothered about whether you did your work or not. We were just clearing, sorting stuff out, and it was a bit sort of tedious. And the bosses and the people we were working for weren't really there a lot of the time. So we were just like killing time. And I used to ring up Geoff and say, "What are you doing?" Because I was really fascinated by this business. And it turned out that we'd been on a mailing list. I kept saying to him, what are you doing? What are you doing today? Why can't I do that? I want to do that with you. And then it turned out that I was going to be made redundant as well, and we knew when that was going to be. So we said, well, that's great. I can work the business with you, and I won't have to keep, checking up on you to see what you're doing. I'll be there. So we can work it together. So that was all really good. And so we started working the business together, which was fantastic. Now this business was gift wrap, ribbons, and bows. So very seasonal. So August through till like December is fantastic. It's really, really busy, which is brilliant. But the problem then is, if you've got a load of Christmas gift wrap and gift balls and that kind of stuff that's very seasonal left over, you're stuck in January until you get to the next August. So it was a cash flow issue that we had with that. So we sort of said, well, this is all well and good, and we can swan around and just not do anything, which we did for the first few months of the next year. And then it was a case of, okay, we need to think down the line of something that will fit alongside it. So that was on the back burner, and we said, yeah, we'll get round to that one day. So in the meantime, we'd set up this business, as I say, with Geoff's overhead, Geoff's redundancy money, but it was really high risk, like a lot of businesses are. We had this business overdraft as well that he had as well, which we had to sort of secure the house on, so that was iffy as well. But we used to import a lot of this stuff from overseas, from Switzerland, and all our gift bills came from Italy. So we had issues with that. And because we were new to this part of the business, the suppliers didn't know us, so we couldn't get credit with them. So we had to pay up front for all these goods. And then the people that we were supplying wanted sort of 30 days, 60 days credit. So we were in this situation where we were thinking, oh gosh, We had to go to a buying fair in January and decide how much stock we thought we would sell between August and December. This gift wrap, ribbons and balls, and we had to order it up. It all arrived, we paid for it, and we had to think, oh gosh, I hope we're going to sell this. So it was really high risk. And the gift balls that we used to get from Italy, we used to have to come by sea because it was such bulk and it was really lightweight, so it was too expensive to fly it. So we had all these things going on, and one of the contracts that we managed to secure was with a big high street company. I better not say who it was, but they used to have really strict delivery schedules. So if you were delivering goods to them, you're right, we'll be delivering on this date. You had like a slot where your couriers had to arrive, and if they did not arrive between that hour, 2 hour slot, basically they would just cancel the contract on you. So we were waiting for goods to come from Italy, and I remember one time it was really scary when we had a shipment was held up at the docks, at the quays the other side in port in France somewhere, and the weather was really bad and they could not come across the channel. Now that was completely out of our control, and where this two-person business that's paid all this money up front for this order that we're not going to be able to deliver on the time. So that was a very close shave. And we did have a couple of orders cancelled on us. We had problems with gift wrap that we bought in and we sent out to people, and then we'd get the calls where somebody would say, well, we've just tried to do a parcel up with this and all the backing, all the colours come off on the sellotape, so there seems to be a fault with this product. And you're thinking, we've bought this product in, we're the middleman, we've shipped it out to these companies, and you know, we don't know anything about this, and if we sent 200 different companies the same product and it's all faulty, you know, what are we going to do? We're going to get it all back, we want to pay for it, we'll be in big trouble. That turned out to be a small, faulty little batch, so we were okay on that. And all kinds of scary things. I think the worst one we probably had was, again, a large company, this was a few years into the business, that we used to supply literally 500,000 at a time, I think it was, of gift balls, the tiny little ones that you put on like in-store wrapping if somebody buys like perfume, jewellery, that kind of thing. And we got a call one day, we'd supplied them for months and months and months. We got this call one day to say that they were thinking about suing us because somebody had wrapped a parcel, stuck the gift ball on and cut their finger. Oh. And you're thinking, hang on a minute, we've supplied you for months and months and months, literally millions of gift balls by that time. And so we had to go and see a solicitor and say, look, where do we stand on all of this stuff? And it was a really scary time. So, you know, conventional business has all these kind of things going on that a business like this just doesn't have. And it's only when you think about it in those terms you think, yes, of course there's going to be challenges with every business, there always will be, but you know, that's the kind of thing we were up against as a two-person business buying all this product in. So it was a case of, well, okay, this is fantastic, this pays the bills, but it wasn't enough for the lifestyle kind of things. And I kind of like a bit of lifestyle things. I like to go shopping now and then, as some of you know, and you know, I like to spend a bit of money, don't we all? We were saying earlier, Tracy, you know, you can always spend more money. So you know, it's a case of like, we really now need to look for something else. And Geoff had been getting letters for ages and ages because he subscribed to Business Opportunities Digest and all kinds of magazines and things for years, because he'd always had this idea of running his own business, as I said earlier. So whilst he had the other business, which I then joined him in, so we had this business together, it just wasn't enough. So we were waiting to see what we could do that would fit around it. And then one day this letter came through the door, and it was just one of these blind letters that didn't really tell you anything. I can't believe people. Primary or secondary income alongside basically whatever you're doing. And it was this great long letter which told us sort of nothing, but it all sounded really wonderful. So Geoff put it on the side and said, yeah, I'm going to ring that one of these days. So time passed, as it does, and then it's probably, I don't know, a few days, weeks later, one day Geoff said to me, right, he said, I'm going to go and ring this Jack Hood that sent this letter. I said, oh, okay, fine. So off he went upstairs, and I'm pretending to be busy downstairs, but I was really trying to earwig up the stairs to see what was going on, because I didn't really like missing out. So I'm thinking, I wonder what's going on, I wonder what it's all about and everything. So a little bit later, Geoff comes downstairs and he says to me, he says, right, he said, I said, did you get hold of him? I said, yeah. He said, we're going to a meeting tomorrow night. I said, oh, are we? He said, yeah, it's in Coventry. I said, oh, fine, it'll be a good night out, won't it? So off we trundled to a meeting very much like this. It was a business opportunity meeting. We had no idea really what to expect. We were laughing in the car on the way down, saying, oh, this is going to be this really, you know, manic, they're all going to be really excited, jumping up and down on the chairs, saying, I just want a Porsche, have you got a Porsche, and all this kind of stuff. And we really went very sceptically, thinking it was going to be hilarious. But of course it was a business opportunity meeting just like this. The slides and the business was presented. there was some recognition, and then there was a bit of training at the end. So it was a case of like, okay, it all seemed really good. We liked the idea of it. So the guy that had introduced us or invited us came around just at the end and said, you know, what did you think about it? And we said, well, yeah, we'll have a think about it and stuff. So it was all fine, and we chatted to quite a few people, and we thought, yeah, this is all right. And we went home. So he rang us the next day as promised, and said, so what do you think now? Are you going to join? And we said, well, yeah, but we like the idea of the team building thing, but there's no way we're going to do any catalogues, because we've got corporate backgrounds, you know, and we're not going to be walking the streets doing the catalogues and stuff. And Jack was really, really good on the phone. He said, that's fine. He said, no problem. He said, I'll come and, you know, sign you up, and you know, you don't have to do the catalogues, that's fine. So he came a few days later, because in those days the sponsors had to buy the business kits in and bring them to you, and he came with 100 catalogues, because that was what came in the kit. And he was very good. He just said, yes, you know, blah, 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 told us about some bits and then left us to it. We didn't get any slips, any stickers, anything like that. It was a case of we were just left to it. But you know what? By that time we'd already decided that we had to put the catalogues out, because we thought, well, how can we teach people to do something if we've not done it ourselves? So we realised that we definitely had to do that. So we did the catalogues, we labelled them all up. We went out, we ignored the advice of going out your front door and turning left and right, because we didn't want people to know it was us. So we went across a few streets to the other side of the estate, and you know, as you do. We went down the street, and I was really scared, so I'd have to go down the path, and then Geoff would wait for me. I'd wait for him at the next house to make sure we were all right, you know, nobody attacked us or anything like that. We were just like that, and that's exactly how we were. And we were like, I really hope that nobody sees us. And then we went to pick them up, and it was the same sort of thing. It was like, I really don't want to do this, and blah, blah, blah. And then we went to, I think it was our third house, and somebody else's catalogue was out, and theirs had the order in, ours didn't. And it was just like, oh, why are we doing this type thing? But then we soon realised, obviously, we got in the swing of it, and we were fine. But also, we were the kind of people that, because we were used to being our own boss, we told Jack, our sponsor, we said, well, that's great, you leave us to it, we don't want you ringing us up, because we're our own boss, and we don't want anybody, you know, hassling us, and we don't go to any meetings, because we definitely don't want to do that, because, you know, we work at home, and we don't want to do that, and we definitely don't work weekends at all. And we gave him all these instructions, and he was just so good. He just went, yes, 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 and left us to it, and he would tell us when the meetings were. He'd always just like ring and say, just to let you know, but he knew we wouldn't go. And it was probably about, I don't know how many months down the line, 6, 8 months down the line, he finally said about this meeting, and we said, well, let's just go to a meeting to get him off our back, because once we've been to one, then he won't bother again. We can just say, oh, we didn't like it or whatever. So we went to this meeting, which was actually a training meeting. It was all about how to build the business, and all about things to do, the massive action, and things to do, the putting out the cards and the business cards and the shop cards and everything. So all that kind of stuff. And you know what? I think something clicked that day, and we were so excited. We were actually due to go on holiday the next day, and we didn't really want to go. We wanted to get stuck in to do all the stuff to build the business. So, you know, it was just, we started off really like ridiculously bad. We didn't plan our time or anything, but it was just a case of we eventually did get the preacher, and we started to do it properly. So the rest really is history. So I guess I'm kind of glad we did. Down the line now, we do enjoy our 4-week royalty income in excess of about £5,000, give or take. And that's royalty income, that's not from retail. We are not big retailers, we never have been big retailers. There's a small amount of retail in there, but it's predominantly royalty from the team that we've built and the people that we've helped, like Tracy was saying, to earn their own incomes and build their own lifestyles. And we have people in the team who've been on conferences, people in the team who've won cars and that kind of stuff as well. And it's fantastic to see the way you can develop and build your team. Just for, you know, getting stuck in such a simple business, I think that's one of the things I would say. But we do now enjoy financial and time freedom to do pretty much what we like. I mean, yes, we could always earn more money, we could always do more, but what we earn is great for the lifestyle that we want at the moment, and can't put a price on that really. I'm sure some of you have seen this before. It's an absolutely fantastic quote. Normal is getting dressed in clothes that you buy for work, and driving through traffic in a car you're still paying for, in order to get to the job you need to pay for the clothes in the car and to pay for the house you leave vacant all day so you can afford to live in it. And I think it just sums up a lot of people's life, doesn't it? You know? And no wonder people want to try and escape the rat race, because everybody would want to escape that, wouldn't they? Can you imagine being stuck in that traffic? Absolutely horrendous. Can't imagine anything worse. So, coming back to some of the things that were on the slides earlier, you know, why Kleeneze? Well, you have no boss except yourself. You work your own hours. It's fantastic. The only thing is what I love about the business is you can work it part-time, full-time, spare time. You just have to work it sometime. You know, I think a lot of people think, oh yes, you don't have any boss, you don't work any hours and stuff, but you obviously have to put the work in. Unfortunately, you can't just come in, join the business, and have the lifestyle. You have to do some work, as we realised quite quickly. But you know, we've always been part-time in the business, because we had the other business when we first started. We had that business for probably at least 10 years while we were building Kleeneze. And then when we gave up our other business, we finally said that we never wanted to do anything else, but we wanted Kleeneze always to just be part-time. And the rest of the time we wanted to have a lifestyle. So we've always been part-time, we built it part-time, and we still are part-time now. And it does have the limited income potential, which is fantastic. You don't get that anywhere else. You get, in this business, you can have whatever you're willing to work for. And there's no wage rise caps. That's the big thing at the moment, isn't it, about the people's wages being capped. In this business, if you want to earn more, you just do more. You retail more product, sponsor more people, help more people to earn more, and then you will automatically earn more as well. So there is absolutely no limit at all, which is absolutely awesome. And you've got your own business without any of the risks of the overheads that we have, because Kleeneze take care of all that and the challenges, thankfully. You know, at the end of the day, we just get on and build our business, and they will work with us to support us, which is fantastic. And you could start so cheap. You know, people say, you know, £25 to start your own business. It's unbelievable to think what the potential is. And it is such a positive environment. That's one of the things that we really love about it. No holiday limits. You can't. It's none of this. Oh, you've got 4 weeks holiday a year or anything like that. We'd have no chance, would we really? You know, no holiday limits at all. As long as you work, you can rearrange your retail cycle around it so that you can still have your holidays. You just do a bit more before you go, and a bit more when you come back. You can have free holidays in cars if you work the plan and qualify for them. And one of the things I love is the personal development. You know, this is somebody here who would never before Kleeneze would have ever stood up at the front of a room. One of my previous bosses still can't believe I ever do it, even in a small room, let alone when a few years ago when I spoke in the NIE in front of probably 5,000 people or whatever. She just can't get over that. But it's personal development, and it's just how the business can change you by reading and learning and being around positive people. It's really, really powerful. But the main thing is you can decide in this business what you want from it. You have to decide, you have to set your goals. Now, goals is one of the real key factors. You have to decide what it is you want, and then you make a plan, and you work the plan, and you will automatically achieve what you want if you work the plan. It's, you know, it's simple. So, you know, for anybody who's in the business or looking at the business, you know, some of you will want money. We all join for money, really, because money does the other things, doesn't it? There's cars, there's holidays. You can just do it for, you know, to have more time with your family. It doesn't really matter. Whatever it is you want, you just have to decide and get stuck in and really go for it. Because, as I say, anybody can do it, and that's what I love about it. You don't have to have a set background or any training. You learn while you join the business. This was the first time we had a check over 6,000, which for a part-time business I think was absolutely, never forget how excited we were at that. We wanted over 6,000, we got over 6.5, so it was really exciting. I did, of course, let Geoff have the 28p. Very generous of him, wasn't it? But you know, the money is fantastic because it's what you can do with the money, but it's about so much more than that as well. So I could tell you lots of things about our Kleeneze journey. Some of the places that we've been have been absolutely amazing, and trips we've qualified for, and it's just a lot of things that you wouldn't necessarily do on your own. So I could tell you about Sea Goddess in 2000. We look very young, don't we, there? It was 2000, so it's a long time ago. That's the ship's captain. Fantastic, luxury cruise ship. 100 passengers, 100 crew. That's the level of attention. You've got white glove service, absolutely amazing. I could tell you about that, but I haven't got time to go into that in any detail. Vienna, we went on segways. That was hilarious. SEDs on segways. Well, it was just, you can imagine some of the fun that, like Peter White and Craig White were having. Yes, it took me a while to get the hang of it, but I would never have done a segway tour around Vienna without Kleeneze. I can tell you that, 100%. Sydney, that was an amazing trip. That was a picture that was on our goals board for many years, not with us in it, although we did imagine ourselves being in there. It's one of the iconic places to go, and to think that Kleeneze actually took us there was amazing. And then we stayed on as well. We extended that trip, and we went up to Cairns first, up to the Barrier Reef, and then we went inland to Ayers Rock, Uluru, whatever you want to call it, and that was amazing to see the sunrise and the sunset there. That was kind of like one of the hairs on the back of your neck moments, so that was something we were able to do. And then we went on Club Med 2, which is the largest sailing yacht that you can go on, and when the sails go up at night to classical music and stuff, that's absolutely amazing. So those kind of things you can't put a price on. Champagne from the ship's captain. And the cabin suites that we had were amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Sort of thing that you see on these films, you think, well, that's fantastic to go on these kind of luxury cruises and stuff, but you can qualify for them if you put the work in, if you want to. Of course, you don't have to. You know, other people will happily take you places, but you know, everything isn't. The great thing is everything isn't for everybody. You can choose what you want to and just work for what it is that excites you. Millionaires Yachts in Cyprus. That was an amazing trip as well. Again, not the sort of things that we would be going on and paying for ourselves. Table Mountain in South Africa, Cape Town. Wow, what a place that was. Absolutely fantastic. And then we stayed on there as well. And then we went to Mount Nelson Hotel, which is quite famous for its afternoon tea. So we had afternoon tea with champagne at the Mount Nelson Hotel. Fantastic experience again. We wouldn't have done that trip if Kleeneze hadn't taken us to Cape Town, then we'd extended it. So it was a fantastic thing. And then we went up to Kruger Park because it was part of my 50th birthday celebrations. I know I don't look old enough, but and that was what greeted us when we arrived to the entrance of Kruger Park. Absolutely fantastic. And again, the safari was so amazing. Masked balls in Venice. How fantastic. How many people get to do that? We got to do it for free. I mean, it's mad, isn't it, really, when you think about it? This is a catalogue business, and people say, you don't see this side of it, do they? They just see the catalogues or the reselling and think, oh, wouldn't we want to do that? Oh, I don't want to do online. No, oh, it's too difficult. It's like, look what's available to you. You want to shake people sometimes. The Taj Palace Hotel in India, or Bollywood night. Absolutely fantastic experience. Beautiful hotel. So, just a few snippets of the places that Kleeneze has taken us to. I can also tell you about Malta, Marbella, Arizona, Rio, Budapest, Paris, Jamaica, all those villas in Jamaica, private villas we had with our own butlers, cooks and housekeepers. That was an awesome experience as well. I think Hong Kong's missing off the list. I don't know if anything else is missing, but fantastic. For working a part-time business, are we pleased we stuck with it and we did put the catalogues out when we first joined? Absolutely fantastic. But these are the things that the company provide you work for, but you can also work for things that you want to work for yourself. And like I said, it's whatever is for you. Orient Express, we've done that a couple of times. This was a particularly special trip when we took Geoff's mum and dad many years ago. It's a bit of a faded picture now. Something that his dad had always wanted to do. When he retired and he had the time to do it, he didn't have the money to do it. And it was a goal he never thought he'd achieve. So we were able to pay and take them with us and go on the Orient Express, and you'll never forget it. And neither will we. Absolutely fantastic. So it's about giving back as well, isn't it? It's not just about things for yourself. We've been to Lapland twice and spent Christmas there. So this is us in a one-horse open sleigh. Forgetting what we'll be singing. Absolutely brilliant. We've been on fantastic holidays. This was Bahamas. I'm trying to remember where it was. Been to so many places. The beautiful blue sky and sea, which you see in the brochure, and I always thought, well, yeah, it's not really that blue though, is it, when you get there? Well, when we were there, it was fun. So, absolutely amazing. And then, of course, my Jimmy Choo shoes, which, I really must get them out and wear them again sometime, but anyway. It was a goal I had, and I wanted to buy them. I never would normally have spent £380 on a pair of shoes or whatever, but you know what, it's a goal I worked for it, saved the money up and did it, so fantastic. So it can be shoes, handbags, trips, whatever, it doesn't matter, it's whatever floats your boat, and that's going to be the key thing. But for us, the business is much more about everyday choices. It's about our lifestyle that we have and that we want for us. We love waking up in our house, which we love. It's quite big enough for us. We've got a lot of the big house thing out of our system now because I just thought there's more rooms to clean, and a bigger garden means more stuff to do for Geoff, doesn't it? So we're just really happy. We love waking up in our house and deciding what we do every single day. There's nobody sets targets and things for us. These are our kids. Most of you will know about them, Stanley and Bella. We decide every day what we do with them, where we go, which country park should we go to today, where should we go, how long should we go out for, should we go to the pub and take them with us, all that kind of stuff. That's what we choose to do. It's about quality time for us together and with them every single day, not on a weekend or a holiday. It's every single morning we can have that quality time, and you can't put a price on that. So whether you want to do that with family or whatever, that can be available to you as well. We've not won any cars yet. We came very close once to winning a Mini, did we not? So I just have to buy them. And I think they're a bit like handbags, aren't they? You have to go through the colours, so I'm working my way through the colours. That was when I got my first soft top. That was my second one. Then I went to the non-soft top ones, now just the normal colours. I've had cream, I've red, I'm currently on the blue. So, which one next? So, it's great to have, the freedom and the money to be able to buy the cars that you want and not just, assuming cars are of interest to you, Tracy. And then of course we can go to the pub for lunch anytime we want, and we're not restricted to a lunch hour. Obviously some would say we've been far too many times at the moment, so I'm trying to breathe in here, but we can do that any day. We don't have to have a day off to do that. We can just say, oh well, should we go to the pub today? Yeah, great, fantastic, let's do that. So that's just lovely. Also we love going on our cottage breaks. A few years back when my mum was still alive, we used to go up to the northeast sort of every 7-8 weeks. We used to go up to see her, and we used to stay in a cottage for 3 or 4 nights. The business let us do that. We had the money to do it, and also it gave us the time freedom to just say, yeah, we can go, and then we go again in another 6 weeks, and we did that regularly for quite a few years. And we wouldn't have been able to have the time out or be able to afford to do it without that, as well as the fact that we just love going on cottage holidays and we take the dogs with us. It's fantastic. And now it's about Geoff's mum and dad. They're getting on. This was a few years back now at their diamond wedding celebrations. It was 4 years ago. They've got health challenges now, so we're around and we're able to help them with things that they need and support them now. So that's important to us now. They're one of our main focuses now, to help them. So just a few hints and tips. Firstly, I'd say give it time. Right? It does take time to build the business. You have to put the work in. You can't just come in and expect it all to happen. But there's systems to follow, and it's just worth getting stuck in. And you have to put your back into it. Even if you're working part-time, work those hours. One of the great sayings that I love is it's not the hours you put in, it's what you put into the hours. And that's why you can build a part-time business, and some people can achieve more part-time than other people can full-time. Sometimes when people have worked the business part-time and give up their job, we kind of think, oh, please, work it properly. Because sometimes people end up doing less when they've got full-time than they do if they're part-time, because there's no focus. So, put your back into it, whatever time you've got, and make sure that you do maximise that time. Set goals that are personal to you. Really, really important. Doesn't matter what your upline's goals are, what anybody else's goals are, it's goals that are personal to you. Because that's the only thing that will make you get up in the morning and get on to the plan and achieve every day what you need to. Follow the system. Your upline, will have a system that works. The great thing about this business is you don't have to invent a new system. You just follow the system that's there. And it's not in anybody's interest to tell you something that's not going to work. It's not that kind of a business. We only succeed when our team succeed. So we're not going to say, oh, we'll go and do that, we know it won't work, and then laugh at you because it doesn't work. It's not like that. Everybody's here to help everybody else to succeed. And that's what I love about it. It's just a really positive environment, isn't it? So, follow the system. Don't waste time trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just a complete waste of time. Because it's about learning from successful people. That's what it's really all about. And if somebody's been there and done it, why would you not want to copy? It's about the only time we've ever been allowed to copy. You can't at school, can you? In this business we say, please, 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 copy. That's what it's about. And I love this quote, respect yourself enough to employ yourself. Because the big problem with self-employment is that people don't employ themselves. They just think it's an excuse to stay at home, chat with friends, drink coffee, and not actually do any work. This business works if you work the business. And that's the simple thing. It's such a simple business, it doesn't need complicating. But just a couple of things to finish up. I love this Tony Robbins quote. Success is doing what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, as much as you want. Well, I think that sums it up really, doesn't it? Yeah. I think you'd all agree with that, probably. Whatever your goals are individually, I think that is a fantastic quote that rings true for everybody. But like I said, you have to give this business time. It doesn't start when you join. And I'm really glad that we didn't give up and quit on the business when we got our first cheque, which was £37.95. Wow. That was in July '96. So, at that time we'd lost some catalogues, we were meeting other distributors, we'd signed people in who'd dropped out and that kind of stuff. We could easily have said, oh, it's not worth it, let's just forget this and let's just do something else. But we stuck with it and we worked the system and we worked consistently on a part-time basis. And, it's absolutely brilliant now. I want to change it for the world. So I'm so glad that we, kept going really, when we could have, given up. Because people sometimes are just too feeble, are they not? You get people that join and they're all excited about the business and something doesn't quite go to plan straight away, and they just say, oh, I'm quitting, it's not for me. And you think, well, you've given it like 2 days. Yeah. It's like, business is not going to work in 2 days. It's just not. So, you know,
could I just
think
make a
about
comment?
it.
You'll
Yeah.
notice on that cheque of $37.95 it has my name on it. And when it was 6,600, Mrs. Webb got her name.
Yes, I can explain exactly why that was, because in those days you only got the first named person on the agreement had their name on the cheque, and unfortunately I let you put your name first, so that was my mistake in the early days. Anyway, £37.95. That's like, you got nowhere near buying any shoes or handbags or cars, is it? So anyway, so yeah, even if you've got a low cheque and you think it's not going anywhere, keep going. It will work. So my last thing to leave you with is this. Every now and again, man stumbles across an opportunity. Most people pick themselves up and carry on as if nothing had ever happened. I say, don't let that be you. If you're looking at this opportunity, or if you're in this opportunity, grab it with both hands. Go for whatever it is you want to achieve for yourselves, your family, whatever, and you will achieve it too. So, you know, have a great rest of the evening, and thanks very much for listening to me.